Do you want to improve your health, but you don't have a lot of energy or effort that you really want to put into improving your health? Well, I've got a solution for you. And no, it's not some quick and easy weight loss pill, but it is almost as easy as taking a pill. But it's more natural than that, and it's more effective. In fact, this simple trick can not only help improve your skin, hair, and nails, it can help you sleep better, and it can reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic diseases. But first, before I tell you this simple trick, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below so you can stay in touch and find out all the other simple healthy tricks that you can do to improve your health. Today, we're gonna be talking about the benefits of spices and why you should add more into your diet. In fact, the sign of a good cook is someone who not only has a lot of spices in their pantry, but who uses spices and knows how to use them. And they don't just offer aroma and flavor, they offer a significant amount of health benefits in the most natural, safe, and healthy way. When I first got married, I was 23 years old, and honestly, I didn't really know how to cook. I'd made a lot of quick meals to get me through college, but now I was starting to experiment more with foods as we were hosting other friends and having them over. And many times when I tried to experiment, it became a disaster. It tasted nasty, so I gave up. I became just a salt and pepper type of gal and hardly used any other spices unless it was the ranch dressing mix. Many times I would just experiment with different spices and add either the mixes or just a variety of spices, and I honestly didn't know what spices tasted best with which foods. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but what I have learned since then about spices and the benefits that they offer you has opened my eyes. And number one, I have learned to just use spices one at a time instead of mixing them all together, so you can become more familiar with how different flavors match up with other types of foods. So why would you want to go through the process of trying to learn what flavors taste best? Because it can improve your gut health. In fact, when you consume spices, it helps to arm the good bacteria in your gut to fight off more bad bacteria. Also, when you consume spices, it helps grow the good bacteria in your gut. So it's not only arming them, but it's increasing the army. And we want that army strong, because when you have a strong army of good bacteria, it's going to decrease that inflammation in your gut and also really strengthen your intestinal wall so that you can reduce your risk of having leaky gut. Another reason why you want to experiment with spices is because it can reduce your risk of carcinogenic compounds that you consume. Whenever you grill or smoke or even cook meat at high temperatures, it produces what's called HCAs, or heterocyclic amines. And these compounds are carcinogenic. However, if you marinate your meat in herbs and spices, it can reduce the risk of those HCAs and it can prevent them from forming in the first place. It's pretty incredible. In fact, research shows that the herb with the highest ability to reduce those HCAs from forming is rosemary. So next time you go out to a barbecue or any time that you're going to be cooking your meat, anything but boiling really, make sure that you marinate it first in herbs and spices, especially rosemary if it's around. Now, if you don't want to learn the hard way like I did when I was first learning how to cook, I'm about to share with you the top 10 spices that you can be using today in foods that you are already making. But before we go on, make sure that you comment below and tell me what spice is your favorite and how you like to use it. First off is cinnamon. Cinnamon is incredible at reducing your risk of diabetes. It can manage your blood sugar. And I like to add cinnamon to a fruit salad. Anytime I bring a fruit salad to someone's house, I always sprinkle cinnamon on top. I also like to add cinnamon to my daily oatmeal. It's a great option for when you're cooking desserts or just your breakfast. Even add it on top of ice cream and it will help manage those blood sugar spikes. Cumin is another incredible spice. It can help if you're having diarrhea or other digestive issues. It's also really good at boosting your memory. Cumin is incredibly helpful to reduce cancer, and I like to use it anytime I'm cooking tacos or any type of chili or soup. And I also like to apply it when I am cooking beans from scratch. When I'm boiling my beans, I always add cumin. Nutmeg can help improve skin health and reduce insomnia. I like to add nutmeg on top of any type of dessert, or also you can use it on top of sauces like a homemade mac and cheese, or on top of cooked spinach. Experiment with nutmeg and see where you like to add that flavor. Feel free to give it a try. Turmeric is another one of those super spices, and it's pretty incredible because it has a polyphenol called curcumin, which is found to be incredibly beneficial at reducing your risk of cancer, of Alzheimer's disease, and of heart disease. It can also help lower your cholesterol. So if you have elevated cholesterol, you want to be consuming turmeric. Now make sure when you eat turmeric that it is paired with black pepper so that it can increase its absorption rate. When you pair the two together, you'll be able to absorb more of that curcumin. I like to use turmeric when I'm cooking rice. It makes my rice yellow, so just be careful because it can stain anything that's white, but it adds a lot of those beneficial properties. I also will put turmeric on top of grilled veggies or even in a oat milk or any type of plant milk with a little bit of ginger and cinnamon, and I use that instead of a hot chocolate whenever I want something warm to, on a cold evening. Thyme can help soothe coughs and fight nasal congestion. I like to add thyme in any of my gravies that I'm making or sprinkled on top of any type of potatoes that I'm making. So if I'm chopping up potatoes and grilling them, I'll sprinkle a little bit of thyme, as well as other veggies that I may be grilling. Rosemary, as already discussed, can help reduce the amount of carcinogenic compounds formed on meat when you marinate your meat in rosemary and other herbs and spices first and then grill it at high temperatures. However, the benefits don't just stop there. Rosemary is really good for your brain. It can help improve intelligence, alertness, and focus. Even just smelling rosemary right before a test or when you need to stay more focused can help keep your brain sharp. I like to use rosemary on top of my potatoes just like I do with thyme. I also put it in a lot of my gravies. Rosemary is so yummy and smells amazing. Do you experience bloating? Sometimes when you have an upset stomach, do you want to know what you can do to release that? Or what about when you're in pain? Sometimes with menstrual cramps or other type of muscle aches? Well, then you should be consuming peppermint. Peppermint is incredibly beneficial at relaxing your muscles and easing the bloat. In fact, it's perfect to drink some peppermint tea right before bed so that you can sleep better. Now, one of the most expensive spices I'll mention today is saffron. Saffron is incredibly beneficial to help improve your mood. So if you struggle with depression, you may want to add saffron to your diet. It's also really good at helping to boost weight loss. I like to add saffron. Actually, I don't. It's too expensive for me. Oregano is pretty amazing. It can help fight bacteria and viruses and reduce inflammation. In fact, if you want to prevent the common cold or if you find yourself always getting sick, then try to use oregano more in your life. I love oregano on top of all things pasta sauces. I love oregano on my white pasta sauce and my red pasta sauce and my green pasta sauce. I like oregano on all things pasta sauces. Now, before I tell you about this spice with the highest amount of antioxidants out of all foods, first I want to tell you about our group coaching program. I help individuals and families transition to a plant-based diet to help reduce your risk of chronic diseases in the long term and help you feel better now in the short term. I offer free guides to help you eat more plants without even trying. So make sure to sign up below for our free guide. And if you're interested, you can join our mini course or our full course to help you eat more whole foods. So what spice has the highest amount of antioxidants out of all foods? It's cloves. Cloves are incredibly beneficial at improving your heart health, reducing your risk of cancer, and reducing your risk of diabetes because it is chocked full of antioxidants. Now, I like to eat cloves by just adding a little sprinkle to my morning oatmeal or whenever I'm making cookies or energy bites or any type of dessert. It definitely is spicy, but it's incredibly beneficial to help reduce your risk of chronic disease. So I challenge you to try and add cloves to your diet today. If you've liked learning about spices, make sure you subscribe and sign up for our free guide and follow us on Instagram where you can learn more on how to add more plants to your diet.